Europe, very few benefits for the US side, especially in terms of the Ukraine situation, right? We've all seen that. We've all seen it where, when Biden and Obama, they gave a lot of concessions, like a lot of concessions, a lot more concessions than we should have ever given, right? To Europe and to UK and to the Ukraine wars, right? Thank you guys for being on my live. I'm a former U.S. Marine, and I'm talking about NATO and geopolitics today. And so, what's going on with Spain? What I'm seeing from Spain, and specifically Sanchez, the prime minister or president of the Spanish government, is that he's making a lot of concessions against the United States. For one, he blocked off the airspace for the United States planes, right, aircraft to go into Spain and do a counterattack strategy against Iran. Now, specifically, we don't know all the details of why he did that, but it just seems very bold that a NATO ally and an EU member would go this aggressively against the United States, right? If you guys know why he would do that, let me know. But I'm looking at this from the geographic perspective as a former U.S. Marine and somebody who worked with the Navy, the U.S. government, and former governments as well. Why would a NATO member, a European ally, right, and also a NATO member go against the United States when it's against the benefit of the EU and NATO? It just seems contrary to me against what NATO is about, right? And then we've seen it with the UK Prime Minister, Starmer, right? Guys, thank you for sharing that he's also like taken a weird like backwards position. He's not fully engaged, right? So that leads us to believe on the American side, again, as a U.S. Marine, former U.S. Marine veteran, that leads me to believe that the Europeans are only fully aligned when it benefits them. So if that's the case, right, if that's the case that Europe is only fully aligned with the U.S., with America, and with Trump, or with us, when it's a benefit to them, then we have to shift positioning, not get out of NATO, but we have to check how we're partnered with them, because the NATO, the principal of NATO, he recently said, "Hey, we're with you guys 100% if you guys get attacked." So he's saying unless the United States gets attacked, he won't physically send any NATO troops, which is contrary to what NATO's supposed to be about. NATO is not supposed to be a countermeasure of once we get attacked, you join. No, NATO's supposed to be once America's engaged or once Europe is engaged, you join. We're not supposed to ask you. It's like if you're going to a street fight and somebody punches you in the face. Oh, no, we're not going to hit your enemy once he punches you in the face. We're only going to join the fight once somebody else joins the fight, and it's 2 against 1. Well, we're not asking NATO to be 2 against 1 or 3 against 1. We're telling NATO, no, we're spending money every year on the safety of the European Union. We're spending billions of dollars. So your ass better join when we join. We're not saying that we need to ask you for permission to join, right? You got to join today. You got to join right now, because we're talking about war. We're not talking about buying groceries. We're not talking about working at a telephone company. We're not talking about mail couriers. We're not talking about Haitians and Dominicans. We're talking about war, and we're talking about billions of dollars from the United States citizens